Macfarlane. Madam Chairman, I've heard concerns related to the Part 52 licensing process for new facilities. It's my understanding that this process is intended to provide both a construction and an operating license through the same review and to streamline the previous Part 50 process. When the first round of Part 52 license applications came into the NRC in 2007 and 8, the stated goal by NRC was to complete these reviews in 36 months. Since that time, the time has been raised to 42 to 48 months, and now it seems that many are headed for a 60-month review. This is occurring even as there are less applications in the review pipeline. My question to you, Madam Chairman, is the NRC committed to completing these reviews in an expedited manner, yes or no?
The NRC is committed to completing these reviews in as efficiently as possible.
Thank you. Now, there has been frustration on the slowness of the relicensing process. Is the NRC committed to complete these relicensing reviews in an expedited manner? Please answer yes or no.
The NRC is committed to completing these relicensing reviews as efficiently as possible.
Thank you. Now, Madam Chairman, you were a member of the Blue Ribbon Commission that recommended working with the communities who might volunteer for a single waste storage site. How long would such a process take to finalize?
It is totally uncertain. It could take a few years or it could take decades. It entirely depends on the situation.
I'm very little comforted, but I think that's a fair answer. Madam Chairman, can you tell us what would be the cost of this exercise?
The costs of working with a community?
Yes.
It entirely depends.
To finalize the process.
Again, it entirely depends. And it depends also in part on how much compensation is decided for the community and in what form that compensation would be.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Now, under current law, how many sites are authorized to be evaluated and licensed as a single storage site?
One.
Now, does the NRC currently have the funding to move forward to evaluate and license the Yucca Mountain facility, yes or no?
My understanding is that there is some funding available.
I'm sorry?
The license. My understanding is there is some funding available to complete the license review.
Enough to complete the action?
That I am not completely certain, and I would invite my colleagues to.
Could you give us an answer for the record later? Or
yes, certainly, absolutely.
All right, if you please. Now, in the audience today, I have constituents of mine who are studying nuclear science at the University of Michigan, which is an institution I have the honor of representing. In its fiscal year 2013 budget request, NRC stated that it is not requesting funding for the Integrated University Program, which historically has been the sole provider of critical funding for both student and faculty development in the field of nuclear science. NRC states that this reflects the confidence that the nuclear industry will create incentives for students to enter nuclear-related programs. Now, I have constantly watched the development of our technical, scientific, and engineering people. And I've always found that we are lagging a lot of other people around the world. I had two boys who were metallurgical engineers. We found that we are developing approximately 11 metallurgical engineers. The Chinese are developing about 11,000. Do you believe that there is a need to train nuclear engineers in this country? And do you support the NRC's role in the IUP? Yes or no?
Excuse me, in
the IUP.
Right. Certainly, as a scientist myself, I support education in science and engineering, and I think that the NRC Commission also supports this strongly.
If you withdraw from this, however, I must assume that there will be no federal money for this kind of exercise, and that we will not be training the scientists, engineers, et cetera, that we will need in this area. Are we going to produce the scientists, engineers, and technicians that we need if we withdraw and if the NRC withdraws, or are we not?
Go ahead and finish. Yes, ma'am.
I would leave some of the funding of science and engineering education to you all.
My time is up. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've got my serious doubts